How do you rate a doubles? Most people just say it is good, or 8 out of 10, or 10 on 10. Those who say 10 on 10 or 8 out of 10, how do they arrive at that? Welcome back to the channel, my Triple E drivers. How are you doing? We're going to try a Biche Doubles this morning. A Biche bara. But more on that later. It's about 7:15 a.m. on a Saturday morning. We are on the eastern side of Trinidad, in a town called Sangre Grande. And we are heading to, not far away, another place called Sangre Chiquito. Translated from Spanish, Sangre Grande means big blood. And Sangre Chiquito means small blood or little blood. And Sangre Chiquito means little blood. Actually, today we are headed to bara, which you saw in a previous video. And then to Debi and the pitch lake at La Brea, which you also saw. And then back to San Fernando and Marabella, which you also saw in a previous video. So this is how we got there. And right now we are heading to beach via Plum Mitan. And then from beach to Moruga Road in an upcoming video. We are in Bravo Hill at the moment. So we are in Sangre Chiquito now. Let me read an extract from Nalis's website about this village of Sangre Chiquito. Sangre Chiquito. The little village of Sangre Chiquito got its name from the tributary which crosses the eastern main road to the south of it. Very vague location, but let's continue. This stream, which was Little River at the time, was so called by two Severas who were sent here by the Spanish government in 1777. Their duty was to survey Spanish possessions in the New World, and to plan military defenses for these possessions. These two Severas, Juan de Catilla and Augustine Cromie, arrived here in May 1777. In carrying out their work, These men happen to name many of the waterways and other geographical features of Trinidad, not just for the sake of naming, but for identifying what they had dealt with. While operating in the eastern region of the island, they came upon a little river with water as red as blood. For the rainy season had set in, and this tributary of the river Oropouche was heavily tinted by the red sands of the quarry, a place they themselves had called Quarry. The water resembled blood, and deciding to give it that colorful name, they wrote on their map Sangre Chiquito, literally meaning blood little, as opposed to another bigger tributary of the Oropouche River, which they called Sangre Grande, meaning blood big. Since in the English language the adjective usually comes before the noun, the normal translation would have been little blood and big blood. The little and big referring to the sizes of these blood red rivers. Let me also say here, they name other places such as Rio Claro, Clear River, and Rio Seco, Dry River. Following this protocol, they should have named Sangre Grande rivers as Rio Rojo Grande and Rio Rojo Chiquito, which would mean Big Red River and Little Red River. So why wasn't the protocol observed? But I digress. Let's continue with Nalis's website. Sangre Chiquito became settled after the turn of the 20th century. At the time when the track from Sangre Grande to the east coast began to become a little more frequented than before. This track, of course, became part of the Eastern Main Road. A little over 100 years after the severing of Sangre Chiquito, another track, this one about 5 miles, was made just beside this river by the planter St. Rose Philip in order to lay down a cocoa plantation. This led to the opening up of a settlement called Kaiwal, 4 miles to the eastward. And Kaiwal became important enough to have influenced the growth of a village beside Sangre Chiquito River. But of course the original track, which went right on from Sangre Grande, winding southeasterly to the coast, and which had been formed since 1822 by soldiers of the 3rd West India Regiment, settled at Manzanilla, was now very much a well-used path. For at this time, around the first decade of the 20th century, motor vehicles were already able to go along that road to reach the coast. This fact recalls the words of Inspector Briley, who, making such a trip in 1910, well, I have no idea who this Inspector Briley was. Maybe Briley Street in Sangre Grande was named after him. Anyway, let's continue. Yes, Inspector Briley declared with amazement. We came from Port of Spain and seen the sea, all in one day. With the advent of motor traffic, that leg of the eastern main road between the town of Sangre Grande and the east coast did not merely become a route to enable one to see the sea. Passing through the old soldier settlement of Manzanilla, it became a veritable gateway to the estates of Cocal and St. Joseph, and more importantly to the districts of Mayaro and Guayaguayari. So settlements began to grow all along the route, and Sangre Chiquito became one of the most recognized. However, the village of Sangre Chiquito remains what might be called a roadside village, largely the home of small-time agricultural folk and land proprietors, as well as small businessmen who are able to draw upon the needs and resources around them, as well as the reflected commercial activity of Sangre Grande. Like many other communities in Trinidad, Sangre Chiquito is a community that is growing fast. At present, its population is just about 4,000. By the way, the website is dated 2007. It is not yet regarded as one of the standard villages in that one does not see the name on maps. Not yet. Maybe it's looked upon as part of the greater Sangre Grande. It may appear though, from the development taking place in the area, that Sangre Chiquito has no intention of remaining Chiquito, and may soon grow to have an image of its own. End of extract from Nullis. Why were Sangre Grande and Sangre Chiquito named like this? Was it like the website states, or was there another story? Ever wondered? Because I have wondered about these, so hence the Trinidad blood towns. What's the real story? So before I start to explain, a disclaimer. I am not an historian, but an alternative viewpoint is being presented here. It's up to the viewer to decide. You would have to do your own research to get at the facts. Right? Okay, here we go. Here is another view of the names of Sangre Grande and Sangre Chiquito. In a newsy article of 14 July 2023 by B.C. Perez. He cited a lecture in 1978 by the late Dr. Brinsley Summerall, the renowned UE professor. Let me read to you some parts of that article. At UE in 1978, Brinsley Summerall's Foundations of New World History course was one of the 4 I took. Summerall was the first person in his school to tell me how great it was to be from the New World. Never mind how we got here. And Summerall dealt in truth, not in the ersatz, smiley, happy make them feel better about themselves content modern teachers stuffed down their students' throats today. Summerall told me the unvarnished truth in every minute of every lecture he gave for a whole school year. Sangre Grande example was so called because Spanish soldiers massacred a whole heap of indigenous people there. And Sangre Grande translates from the Spanish as big blood. And then the soldiers caught up with the Amerindians who had escaped the first onslaught, the first slaughter, by running a couple of miles away. They named that particular homicide spot Sangre Chiquito, Little Blood. End of extract. Now, Dr. Samaro obviously must have done his research. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the original lectures. So those are two conflicting views about the naming of Sangre Grande and Sangre Chiquito. Which one do you subscribe to? It's interesting to know. Tell me in the comments. We are turning into Plum Road. We are turning into Plum Road. Plum Road Presbyterian School is on the left. We end here in Bergen Hill. The road on the left goes up to Bergen Hill. we had some problems with the camera. To those who are new to our channel, if you look at the bottom of the video, you will see a timestamp along with other info. About 98% of our videos are timestamped, so you can see how a place look like at a specific month and year. In our case, it's May 2026. Also, you will see our present location. Right now, we are Plum Rd. you will also see what today's video is all about. In this case, it's Trinidad blood downs. What's the real story? We are in the Plum Mitan village environs. Kaltu Trace is on the left where we did some videos before. You can have a look at them. Trinidadian ride will take you back to Sangre Grande through the Mount Harris Forest. We are presently on the Comparo Southern Main Road. We are in the beach environs. Chicken farms on both sides of the road. Apparently, this is the beach geyser. And now on to doubles. How one does rate doubles? Well, I know my ankh from my elbow to read food. Ankh is a Hindi word for eye. And I didn't go to hotel school. But I eat plenty doubles. So here is my breakdown. Repeat, my breakdown. The triple E standard. First things by doubles area. First things by doubles area. General cleanliness and appearance of job. 1 mark for you. If your place untidy, you lose a mark by 2. Pleasantness and general demeanor of silver. 1 mark. If you're sour, your doubles must be sour also. Okay, if you lose this pleasantness mark, the most marks you gain is 1. Because I turn around and finding another vendor. Okay, once you pass the pleasantness test, let's carry on. Okay, ingredients now. 3. Slight pepper must be slight pepper. 1 mark. If the pepper too hot, then sorry bye. Sweet sauce, 1 mark. 4. Sweet sauce, 1 mark. You know what your work farmers or suppliers have to go through to supply tamarind sauce and mango sauce? Support your local farmer by. No sweet sauce from my foot. Same goes for cucumber. A must have for me. Size 5. Support your local farmers. If you don't want cucumbers, go and get your KFC now. Doubles vendors don't want you to ask for sweet sauce or cucumber. Less cost for them. But I say level cucumbers, 1 mark. How much marks over? Tenderness 1, pleasantness 1, right pepper 1, sweet sauce 1, cucumber 1, and yes, Manzanilla 1. So 6 so far. Manzanilla is a must. Why you asking me if I want Manzanilla? It's a pretty thing. When you hand me the bara 7, when you hand me that bara, right, the paper must be strong, not bust up shut paper, okay? 1 mark. Size 7. Size of bara. 8. When I eat 2 doubles, I should be full. Do body bara for me. 1 mark. We are 8 now. And that includes holes in bara. If your bara got holes, you are talking to me. Same at bara. If your bara small and holy, you are talking to me. Now the biggest item. Overall taste, of course. If you were put the correct amount of each ingredient, too bad. Up to 9 now. Now the last one is consistency. You cannot be good one day and the next time I buy your doubles, go on through. So technically, you gain mark out of 9 the first time around. Also, this takes care. If you have a bad day, for me example, slight pepper according to you is none to me, or something like that. Right, so there you have it, my doubles marking standard. There may be more items, but those are my main things. Right, now what is the mark on the Biche Doubles? I will tell you. So this Biche Doubles, let's mark him. General cleanliness, 1 mark. Pleasantness could have smiled, but give them the mark anyway, 2. Slight pepper, 1 mark, 3 total. Sweet sauce, 1, 4 total. Cucumber, 0, 4 total. Manzanilla, 1, 5 total. Pepper, not strong, 0, 5 total. Size of bara, just make the grade, 6 total. Taste, we'll give him the mark, 7 total. He lost marks in pepper and cucumber. 7 out of 10, my return. And if I return and it's consistent, that mark will go to 8 out of 10. So not bad at all, not bad at all. But remember, I know my ankh to my elbow. I didn't go to hotel school. Anyway, folks, thanks for driving along with me. See you in the next vlog. Please like and subscribe. Bye for now.